If you guys don't have Apple, you will know what file sharing is, at least like through Bluetooth. If you use Bluetooth, you can send a file from one person to another person. AirDrop is Apple's version of that. It uses a more complex system to do such a thing.
And yet it's very simple.
But it's only between Apple devices was my point. Now, what happened was back in the Hong Kong protests in 2019, and then also subsequently the Shanghai uprising.
The biggest thing also was like the whole bridge bannerman thing.
People were using... what's it called? AirDrop to send each other digital leaflets, as they were calling them. Because normally what you'll have in a protest is people will put like, join us at this bridge or whatever, like free China or something like this around China or Hong Kong or whatever. People were using AirDrop to send each other this leaflets so that they couldn't be traced. And the reason is that AirDrop is encrypted, right? So it's what you send, nobody can intercept theoretically, and when you do intercept it, you won't know who sent it or who received it. So what happened?
Well, here's the thing: AirDrop, as we all know, it's something that's on everyone's iPhone if you've got an iPhone, and if you've got a MacBook or something. And all you do is you can have any file you want, whether it's an image or a video or whatever, and you can share it. And when you share it, you choose AirDrop. What it does then is it pings out there and sees anyone that's ready to receive an AirDrop. Now, you have the choice to have your phone set to be able to receive from everyone or just from your friends. If you've set it to just from your friends or your contacts, then you won't be visible. But if you've got it set to receive from everyone, which I do believe is default, I could be wrong, I think it's default.
I think it is,
people will be able to see you and try to send you something. So you might be sitting on the subway and suddenly a message pops up and says, do you want to accept this?
You want to build a snowman.
Well, yeah, exactly. Do you want to accept this file?
Of course you're going to say no.
And you normally would say cancel, no. But, of course, you can say yes if it looks enticing.
You could.
Especially since people started to learn that this is a good way to go undetected. Because, listen, here's the thing. Because it's peer-to-peer and it's like... you have to be within 10 feet or whatever to receive it. Or, it's something that doesn't go over the internet. So the Chinese censors and government cannot see it or track it, right? That's why the Chinese government was so afraid of this technology. Because I could pass secret messages to you, for instance, if we were on the subway.
In Beijing.
In Beijing, right underneath the nose of the government. I could, on Tiananmen Square, I could send you something via AirDrop. You could get it.
Be like, remember the massacre?
Yeah, I could send you anything. I could send you a picture I just took or, whatever. So the Chinese government didn't like this at all because all of a sudden they couldn't control the flow of information anymore because people could go and share. They could get groups together. They could be on the subway. They could be on the buses, passing notes and directions on what to do and where to go and how to protest and things like that. So they were like, no. So they actually forced Apple to introduce this feature that you can no longer leave your AirDrop to be open for everyone to send you stuff. And if you set it to everyone, it's only that way for 10 minutes and then automatically turns off.
And that did that for everyone.
And then they rolled it out from there to everyone. This was definitely just capitulating to China. Because for years and years and years, your phone would be open to everyone. Somebody could send. It's up to you whether you want to receive it or not, right? But then Apple was like, well, China's going to kick us out if we don't do something. So then they introduced this whole 10-minute limit for everyone. So you have to manually enable it. 10 minutes later, it turns off. So that means that people couldn't send things to strangers anymore. Okay, but here's the thing, though. We have to talk about this vulnerability, and we have to be realistic about it here. Back in 2019, I think it's a German security company actually told Apple that there was a vulnerability in their AirDrop system, okay? Now, how this vulnerability works is, don't worry, guys, you're not going to get hacked all of a sudden, okay? If you accept, for instance, if I'm the bad actor, I'm the hacker here, okay? So I'm the Chinese government. I've got my secret police on the train. They create a document that says free Hong Kong .avi or whatever, right? .jpeg. And if they try to send it to you and you see it pop up and you're like, you don't know who it is, but it's like free Hong Kong, and you accept it. Only if you accept an AirDrop request from this hacker, government agent. Then when the phones do that transfer, because of the lackluster security on Apple's side, that hacker will be able to get certain identifying information about you, like your name and your telephone number and your email address. Once they've got that information from you, they don't know if you're a dissident or whatever, but think about it. If they're sending a loaded thing, like, say, free Hong Kong.jpg, and you accept that, then they're going to suspect that you're a free Hong Kong advocate.
Yes.
Now they have your information.
Yes.
Now they can come and arrest you and interrogate you. So the vulnerability is that, through an airdrop transfer, if you accept it, you have to accept it, the Chinese government will now be able to get your personal information. They can't actually hack in and see what files have transferred or whatever from anyone else. So just so you understand how it works. The thing is, Apple knew about it since 2019. They acknowledged that they received this report from, wherever, that the German company. But it's a little bit disturbing because it shows that, I don't know, it just shows Apple capitulating to China again, don't you think?
Yes.
Because they really shouldn't allow this to happen. They're putting people's lives at risk.
Yes.
And they just don't want to stand up to China, and it's disappointing, to say the least, to see an American company roll over like that.
I think I'm a little bit pissed off because it's not the first time, like you said. I feel like this is a problem that has not been addressed, and I feel like they do like, people whine about it and they do articles about it, and then it kind of just, it's like, oh, nothing happened. The rollout that was clearly in capitulation to the Chinese government, right?
Yeah.
Still maintains, it's in place in the software now. Like, It didn't, like, when that whole hubbub came out and they're like, they responded, and then now people can't accept files, and they did the whole 10-minute thing because of the Chinese government. Everyone's up in arms, right? Everyone's like, this is bull, right? Yeah. I can't believe we're capitulating. Now everyone has to suffer because of this. Now everyone has to deal with this because of their censorship, because of the Chinese government, and then nothing gets reversed. Nothing gets rolled back, right? There's the pushback stops. It's like, and then now we're faced with reality.
Apple has done all sorts of crap, like host people's iCloud files in China and stuff. Yeah. Remember, they've done a lot of bad things to capitulate to the Chinese government. And you know what? Apple's just one of those companies, just like I think Tesla as well, that just seem to be immune from criticism.
Yeah.
Like how many times have people complained about Tesla's not doing the full self-driving or whatever that they were promised from 2017 or something. People complain, but then it just seems to be swept under the rug and, hey, look, there's a Cybertruck now or whatever, and people just focus on that. Same with Apple. It just seems like maybe because it's such a popular technology company, people are willing to make excuses for their bad behavior. You know what I mean?
I don't think people are making excuses. Everyone gets up in arms. They get upset about it. Like I said, nobody says, oh, I've changed my mind. I like it now. You know what I mean? People just roll over.
I think because they rely on it so much, or that they like it so much, they're willing to overlook them doing terrible things that capitulate to the Chinese government.
I think you're right. I think that's what it's like. But it's not in support. It's like...
it's making excuses for. I know it's not in support. But anyway, look, Apple has done a bunch of bad things on behalf of the Chinese government that's absolutely put people's lives at risk. It's not okay. Especially since they have the complete opposite attitude when it comes to, within the United States, for instance. Like when the FBI needed access to a terrorist's phone and they refused to help them unlock it.
Right.
So they'll do that in America, but in China, they're willing to compromise.
I mean, it's admirable when you say that in isolation.
Yes.
But then when you say it on the other side of things,
it's the same. It's the same company,
what the hell, dude.
Why can't they have the same, the same attitude elsewhere? Yeah. Why do you have to be like that, only in America?
Yes.
Anyway, we've gone on about it long enough. Just wanted to let you know that there is a hack, and the whole point is that there's a Beijing company that works for the CCP that actually publicly acknowledged that they have this exploit and that they can. And the reason they're doing this is they want to scare people away from using AirDrop. That's what I was about to say.
That the only reason they would make this public, because it seems dumb to put that out there, is because they're worried about AirDrop.
Yes.
And they don't want people to use it if you're a dissident in China, right? So now they're putting it out there to be like, well, we're going to find out who you are, and then people won't do it anymore.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. You can use AirDrop still, just don't accept random files from random people. Just only send it. Yeah, if you're in China, send it between people that you know. You'll still be safe. They can't hack into it. They can just exploit you if you accept their...
Yeah, like a trap. Basically.
Yeah, it's a trap.
I would say tastes like industrial runoff.
This snack is just a menace to society.
I'm not looking forward to this.
It's kind of like hell.
It's hell.
It's hell. Like
not kind of like hell. This is what hell probably is.
You don't want to be eating something that came out of an industrial park in China.
Oh, it smells like meat.
It it does smell like meat. It smells like dog food.
Oh, does it? Oh, it really does. These are so preserved.
Yeah.
You could put this in a mummy's tomb. Tastes a little bit like cigarette ash.
It's just rubber. Look at that. It's bendy. Look at it. It's rubber, dude.
Woo! That was a spectacular feast.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.